My name is Mr. Calderon. I'm an art teacher at Hotchkiss Elementary. I'm their first year, and it's a wonderful experience working with our newcomer students, especially with this project. And one of the greatest things is to see them ingest the characteristics and the sacrifice of this piece. Mine worked on large banners, which are a little bit more Asian characteristics in the function of the art form. But the surprising qualities of the collage of the kids just diving in without us interfering. And I think that's one of the great things about the works. You can see the kids' fingerprints literally there, and how they themselves approached each work. And that's one of the things that kids need. Give them the tools, and they will create these concrete ideas, which are only solidified through the arts experience. And that's one of the great things for these kids to understand. A secondary essence is that they related so wonderfully to it because they themselves are recent images.
So Solange, you worked with children at what school?
Whitney Young and the idea was to make something out of nothing, pretty much like the peacemakers. You start with an idea, you start with a passion, with a concern and a care for something, an issue or a community. And I think it was pretty good because the time we had was very short. It was like in an hour's period, so we had to go back a few times and just to get their focus, to stay with us. And I think they did really well.
My gosh, they did these within an hour?
Yes, it was
Wow.
maybe a 2-day process, going back for another hour. So we talk about it and discuss about the peacemakers. So they choose their own peacemakers. And looking at, for example, on Gadi Matai, a lot of, she always wear the typical African outfits. And just to pay attention to these.
What did you get out of this? Being involved? Yes, being involved in it.
To me, it's like volunteering or working with children. To me, it's inspiring because as an artist, it inspires my own work. And too, I've learned a lot about many of these peacemakers that I wasn't familiar with. What else?
Was it fun?
Besides being fun, it's just children. They're just so honest. They're so honest that their work just inspire you to even do more. And I think that's what we're trying to get them to get to, that they can do something themselves. That peace starts with one person. So
Nice.
That's the idea. It starts with you, and whatever small or larger scale, there's a good chance that you make a difference, in somebody's life, if not in your family or your school or your community. And that's how it would.
My name is Laura Hurtado, and I am the senior site manager at Connor Elementary. I work with Big Thought, and I am here today to view my Connor kids' masterpieces of art. And it's a beautiful display of what they're doing. They took a very important figure and they made their own creation and how they wanted to express how they viewed that picture and how their imagination funneled that piece of artwork. And from here, they ranged. I saw my students actually from Martin Luther King, Cesar Chavez. When they were doing the piece of artwork, they were very engaged. They were learning about this figure at the same time. Figures that they had never even known about. So with that, to create it, to imagine it, and then learn about it, it was an awesome experience. And that's why I'm here, and I've invited the parents here. We're going to take pictures, and we're really going to show that this is a great, great cultural and artistic opportunity.
Great.
Those are all about John Katz, who has been with us since the pilot project and chronicled really the whole process of the pilot and then turning it into a program. And all of these photos here are from Hotchkiss Elementary and from Parish Episcopal.
Okay.
Maybe they would choose it. Let's see. Yeah. So.
How long is it going to be up for?
To the end of April. Good. And we were just talking about one of our volunteers and donors has offered to cover the cost of putting together a book, online, to do a book of all the pieces with the explanation.
There was a bid in yesterday's paper. Yeah.
My name is Victor Chacon,
And what school?
and I teach at Huskies Elementary School,
Mm-hmm.
and I work with newcomers. They are 4th and 5th graders.
Oh, okay. Tell me a little bit about this art, how it developed
Well,
and so forth.
and
You said you taught theory?
yes, this year the way that we work with our students was we divided theory and practice. So we did all the theory part in class. So we went to the library and we did some research about the peacemakers. We borrowed books from the library. We were reading about them and looking for characteristics of the peacemakers and why they became famous. And then we joined class and reading and writing about each one. Then the second part was the practice one, where the art teacher really and highlight those characteristics of each peacemaker and yes, create art. Yes.